Hello, people. Groove again. Here's part 7 of Pirate Island. Tried to get this out yesterday morning, but ended up not. So I had some issue with the audio files. Recently having to deal with a complete memory filled up on my PlayStation, so and not only that, but my Share Factory folder. Hell, in order to record this freaking commentary, I had to delete several of the other projects and shit that had commentary, because apparently there's only a certain amount Share Factory can hold at any given moment. Make sure my mic's on. Okay. Yeah, ever since I first saw these on, so I was just like, yeah, I gotta build something with those. And yeah, I tried and just could not get the holly plant. That was the one I used to fill in all that space a while ago, or a couple videos ago, to the right here.
So if that's true, then
See, sometimes the rose bushes will do it, like this is doing it.
And now we can all
The rose will
Leaf
actually
pepper.
do it right here,
You
but the
know?
rose is a
'Cause,
little bit
we're not gonna be
easier to
kidnapped
get.
or replaced with
And if it
robots or
doesn't
anything.
work, you just, or at least this works for
So,
me.
I'd say
You see, I
it's
can't
a
plant it.
pretty great day for the Commonwealth. Ella Fitzgerald has a happy song about being mad, I think. I'm not sure I get it. She is complicated.
Switch to this plant here. Plant it, and then go back to the rose. And it should work. You get to see here how I do my vines with the rose bush. And the way I'm adding these here is I actually have the bush underneath the rock. And I just bring just a little bit of the top of the bush up through the rock. Here I'm going to use a little more than just a little bit because this part of the bush is overgrown the rock. And the vines that grow out off of it, are already spouting flowers. Sprouting flowers. I wasn't really worried too much about the steps here clipping. With the ground, as I figured, they're wooden steps, and the bottom end would be built into the ground to create a mounting spot for it. So. I ended up not playing music in this one because, to add music would just make the file even bigger, and I don't really want to have to keep deleting stuff to record new stuff, so I gotta figure out a way to make the file smaller. Hell, originally this one, after it was edited the first time when it had the audio issue. It was actually at 29 minutes and 50 seconds. I've chopped out a little bit more and sped up some of the other scenes. Hell, building a settlement for pirates is probably the easiest settlement you could build. I mean, they're pirates, so I mean, one, you don't need to build a shower. I mean, what I'm building right here is actually the kitchen. Yeah, I figured a pirate's kitchen wouldn't necessarily be all that clean. And that's the stuff I normally build, is the clean stuff. I like to build stuff that could actually be built in the real world. I mean, there's some exceptions for some of my structures, like Norhagen Villa, where you can't delete the shack.
What kind of things, you ask?
And that took up some of the space in my first floor of Norhagen Villa that I had planned on putting the restroom in, but so I ended up having to squeeze the bathroom into the back corner of the house. I think it still works out, but yeah, it wasn't the original design. I mean, with this, I still try to be a little selective of the tiles and stuff that I'm using. I mean, that's more along the lines of for visual reference. I mean, and I'm mainly sticking with wooden structures because they're pirates, and pirates who know how to work with wood, and wood would be readily available on this island when they first arrived here. I figured this stove they took off of one of the boats that they wrecked. Or that they sunk on Bait Beach. Yeah, force of habit, I went into the kitchen section for a sink. I was thinking, wait a minute, that's not the kind of sink that pirates would have. The chemistry sink, that'd be the best. That's where they do their dishes. This filthy thing right here. They're pirates. How do you think they get scurvy? It was pretty good using the chemistry sink too, because now I don't have to run all the way over to that garage by the old destroyed house to use the chemistry station there. You'll see a deck now over on the other side. That I cut out that portion of the video just to save on time. I was trying to squeeze another shack in between the one that's already there with the dead people on it and the one I built, that L-shaped one I built. I tried to squeeze another shack in there, but couldn't get it in, so ended up having to come over here on the other side and build it. This should be the very last structure I build for this stage of Pirate Island, because originally I was going to build these structures and create this section just here in the middle of the island, but now I'm thinking about covering the entire top of the island with, I really like that tree. I wish I hadn't had to do that, but it was in the way of the door. I'll probably end up covering not the beach area of the island. I mean, there'll still be a beach that wraps completely around the island. And I'm probably going to end up building several more shelters later on. Just on other portions of the island. 1 or 2 buildings here hidden into the woods. Yeah, I was trying to leave all that dead trees and bushes and stuff laying around. That's why I'm not deleting any of the junk laying around unless I need to. That's when you leave that stuff in, you know, you got dead trees mixed in with live trees. That just gives your forest a little more depth. If you ever actually been out in the woods, and you see there's just not nicely groomed trees everywhere. I mean, there's dead trees, and hell, when I was a kid, this one section of woods I used to go hang out and play in all the time had an old car from the 20s just out in the middle of nowhere rotting away. Never could figure out why it was out there. So I think that got tucked in there pretty nicely. no way you'll see this structure from the ocean. I will eventually put doors on all of these shacks. I just really try to save doors until the very end. Usually be the very last thing I'll put on. And that's so whenever, you know, I do placement of furniture and stuff like that, and then decoration, it keeps me from having to constantly open and close doors or take them off their hinges and move through them and then put them back. It's just much easier just to leave them off until the very last thing. And this is the end of the video here. Part 8 should be coming up, hopefully quicker than this one did. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Later, people.
Don't care much for good name. That place?